Going on, guys? Back at you again, and I just wanted to talk about the playoffs, which are starting tomorrow, really quickly because I'm just not gonna have much time until maybe Sunday or Monday. So I actually came on ESPN, and apparently there's a bracket you can just fill out yourself and compete to win for some prize that I don't really care for at all. So I went through it. We'll talk about it. We'll do this once like this, and then when I get back, we'll do it like game by game with a few sets of games at a time. We'll go over 3 games a day, or however many they play that night. We'll go over the next day and talk about what happened, and we'll do it the same way we've been doing it every playoffs until the last 2 teams play, and then we only talk about those 2 teams. So there's a lot of teams we're going to be talking about leading up until then, so bear with me. But we'll start from the west to the east. So let's actually reload this because I think they have it loaded now. They because it says to be determined. They should already have that slot figured out. Unless there's a game tonight that determines that. That could be it too. Yeah, it still says to be determined. All right. Well, either way, I picked the Thunder, whoever they end up playing. And then the next round, I got Nuggets. The Nuggets beating the Clippers. Then I got the Lakers beating the T Wolves. Only because I'd rather 2 stars than the one. Well, really, the Lakers got 3 stars if you add Austin Reeves. And they found some other players to fill in other roles. So we went in thinking the Lakers are not really a threat to really thinking they can win it all if everything falls right. Excuse me. Let's see. Now we got Rockets Warriors. I don't know. I think this could be an upset. The Rockets could end up beating the Warriors, but because they could put Thompson on Clay, or not Clay, on Steph Curry and cause him trouble. He's their best athlete, but I don't know. I think the Warriors, there's something to be said about being there before. Jimmy is still hungry to win. They still got Draymond. So I think the Warriors, just on sheer, we've been here before, are going to be able to beat the Rockets in a series. If it's just one game and the Rockets have to win, I'd probably pick the Rockets. But in a long, grueling series where strategies in play and teams can switch things up completely on you and home field and all that, I'm going to take the Warriors because they got 7 games to play. You know what I mean? The Warriors, I think they'll figure it out in 6, maybe even 7. All right, let's go to the East. Now we got the Cavs. I picked them over whoever is determined to be there. Then we have Pacers Bucks. I picked the Bucks this year. I know the Bucks lost to them last year, but Giannis got hurt and they had a lot of injuries, and things just didn't fall in the right spot. So I'm picking the Bucks to beat the Pacers this year. All right. And last year, even with the Pacers winning, they didn't give us a good series against Boston, right? Halliburton looked like crap that entire series. Their supposed best player. Like, I don't want to see that series again. Anything but that. Bucks versus Celtics would be cool. Even the Cavs versus the Celtics would be fine with me. Anything but what we had last year. That was just pitiful. It wasn't even worth me talking about, even in my wrestling voice, which is gonna come back next week. I gotta come bring Vince McMahon. I gotta go sign an NDA with Vince McMahon and make sure I can use my wrestling voice next week. But I think we'll be in business with it. But other than that, we got the Knicks versus the Pistons. I don't think the Pistons have much of a chance. So with that, I'm gonna go with the Knicks, unless Jalen Brunson goes down. If Brunson goes down, then hey, anything can happen. But Brunson and Anthony Towns and everything else they got going, Josh Hart, I think they have enough to be able to overwhelm the Pistons. And then Celtics, Magic. There's not really much to say here. The Magic don't really have much to offer, and they're probably just gonna get trounced, most likely. So I'm going Celtics there. Celtics are just gonna warm up here, and all they can do as the Celtics is hope no one gets hurt. You just play, get out of there healthy. All right, back to the West. Thunder, Nuggets. I really don't know here. I really don't even want to go much further than the first round, honestly. Because let's just keep with the first round. But we can do this for fun because you know what? There's another bracket right here, right? So we this is the real bracket. So and then I can actually do another bracket and just keep it for just and do it week by week and not get ahead of ourselves. So I can just have one finished bracket and one bracket, do it as I go. Let's see if I can do that. ESPN NBA playoff bracket. It was this one right here. Fill out up to 2 NBA brackets. So, alright, so I can create another bracket right here. And with this bracket, will do it series by series. So today's the 18th, so tomorrow's the 19th. We got the night. Well, I'll do the first round on both sides, and we'll leave it like that for now. So I got the Thunder, Clippers, Nuggets. It would be nice to be able to see like their rosters and see who's hurt, who's not, who's playing, who isn't. Because with the Clippers, is Kawhi Leonard even playing? You know, like so. I just don't know about that one. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Nuggets. Lakers, T Wolves. Yeah, we're gonna go Lakers, like I said before. Rockets, Warriors. The more I think about this, the more I like the Rockets. But I'm still gonna give because I think the Lakers Warriors rematch needs to happen, and Thunder Nuggets would be a great matchup too. So that would be great TV. That's why I think it's gonna happen. And I wonder why it's not showing who the determined player or team is. Like, is the playing really not done yet? Is there really another game happening tonight? Because the playoffs start tomorrow. So the playing team has to play the night before the playoffs actually starts. That would suck. Well, really, no. A day. It'd actually be 2 days before because it's the 20th for both of them. So that's still only 1 day's rest, which is it's kind of a hiatus. Or the opposite, I should say. But, so Cavs, like, who would be that team? Would it be the 76ers? I don't even know who the 8th seed would be. I wish it would show us, like, at the bottom, like, who the play-in teams were. I can look really quickly on my phone. NBA play-in teams. Because this will show me. No, it's not showing me. Play-in tournament. Alright, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Orlando Magic. Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks. And then for the 8th seed, it's the Memphis Grizzlies. It looks like. So hold on, guys. Play-in game number 1, Orlando Magic, number 7 seed versus 8 seed Atlanta Hawks. Play-in game number 2, Golden State Warriors versus Memphis State Grizzlies. All right. Well, we really want to know what's happening today is the 18th because those games already happened. Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls, Miami won, and then Dallas, Mavericks, Sacramento, Dallas won that. Sacramento was the team to beat last year. That's kind of funny to me. So tonight, playing game 5 is Atlanta Hawks versus Miami Heat. This game determines the 8th seed. So whoever wins between Miami and the Hawks tonight will determine who will be that 8th seed. And either way, I still am going to go with the Cavs to beat whoever, either Miami or the Hawks. If Miami said Jimmy Butler, I'd have to think about it, but they don't. That team is way different now. And then the play-in game 6 is Memphis Grizzlies. It says Grizzlies versus the Grizzlies. That's not right. It's Grizzlies versus Dallas because Dallas beat Sacramento, and Memphis won against Golden. No, they lost against Golden State. So I'm guessing Dallas. It's either the Grizzlies versus Dallas or the Grizzlies versus Sacramento, but I'm thinking it's Dallas because Dallas won. But that doesn't make sense though. I'm not sure how they do this, guys, because they kind of botched it over here. Yeah, they completely botched this. I might have to look for a different play-in. Hold on, let's see this real quick. Play-in games for April 18th, 2025. NBA play-in games. This is so stupid. April 25th, 25. Yeah, it's the Mavericks versus the Grizzlies. And the Heat versus Hawks is already happening. And right now, Heat, they're up by 13 right now. So they're up demandingly. Either way, let's say Heat versus Cavs. I still take the Cavs. Thunder versus the Mavericks. Don't forget the Mavericks are out of. They don't have Kyrie Irving is out, so Kyrie's gone. They do have Klay Thompson, but they have a hobbled Anthony Davis. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take the Thunder over the Mavericks. Still, if the Mavericks were fully loaded with all their guys, no injuries, that would be a great series, honestly. But yeah, I'm still taking Cavs. Bucks, Pacers. I'm gonna take the Bucks in the playoffs, and as long as no one gets hurt, I'm gonna stick with that. If Giannis goes down again, you know what I'm saying. I don't know what to say. That would be 3 years in a row he goes down in the playoffs. And then we got Knicks Pistons. I don't think this is much of anything to talk about. It's the second round is what we're gonna be really waiting for. The first round we have some good matchups. I'm not gonna lie, especially in the West we have some really good matchups. But it's the second round matchups that we really can't wait for. Those are gonna be fun because now it's gonna be, in my opinion, Celtics Knicks. That's gonna be awesome. I'll make these picks. If it might not even let me stop right here. Actually, it might not let me pause. Yeah, I think it makes me go all the way through. So maybe on this bracket we'll do it the way I'm going to do on the video. On the other bracket, I'll do opposite teams just to have winners in case we picked wrong. So, alright, so Cavaliers, Bucks. I don't know, this would be a really good game. I kind of want to go Bucks here because the Bucks have been playing now for 2 years together. They got to get it together now. I think it's do or die for them, or more moves need to happen. Heads are gonna roll. Knicks Celtics. This is gonna go probably 6 games, and the Celtics win unless someone goes down on the Celtics. We've seen it happen before. Jason Tatum, right? Porzingis is made of paper, so who knows? So we got that. But we're still going to break down every game, like how they happen. This is just, to have a rough idea of where my head's at with everything. Thunder, Nuggets. This is going to be a very good matchup. But the Nuggets, they fired their coach going into the playoffs. That's kind of weird to me. I think it was their coach that got fired. But if it's them, who I'm thinking of, it's a lot of turmoil and just a lot to deal with. And who's gonna guard uh, Gilgeous-Alexander? Like who? But at the same time, who's gonna guard Jokic? But at the same time, they got a 7-1 guy over there, right? So he's gonna at least bother him a little bit. So I'm gonna take the Thunder. Lakers, Warriors. I'm gonna go Lakers because the Warriors just don't have enough. But it's gonna be kind of fun to watch, I guess. Curry's gonna do his thing, but I think LeBron, right? Luca, right? Austin Reed. It's just gonna be too much. It might be close in the beginning, and as the series wears and tears, you're gonna really see people wear and tear. All right, now we got the Bucks Celtics. I think that's gonna go 7 games, just because it has to. Actually, no, I'm gonna go Celtics in 6. I just don't think the Bucks have enough, but I could change my mind. I could. Don't forget, guys. I can change these picks as long as we don't go into the next rounds. I can change the later round picks if I feel like something's different. Because I'm gonna be watching a lot of basketball. I'm watching real closely to see who the best team is, and I'll find out within the first 4, 5, first series. I'll know who the best team is, like I do every year. So just give it about a week or two, and we'll know who the best team is, or who has a chance, who doesn't, who has to be better, or who's been slacking. We'll talk about all that. But for now, we'll go Boston. And I think they're going to finally give us the Boston Lakers. Or they might go all young and say, out with the old, in with the new, right? Out with the old, in with the new. Thunder versus Celtics. This could easily happen right here. If this were to happen, honestly, this is probably the toughest matchup for the Celtics. Because I think the Celtics can handle the Lakers. Because the Lakers don't have much of a big man answer for Porzingis. That's the one thing I don't think they have the answer for. LeBron, you put him on Tatum and close him out. You could put Luca on, I guess, I don't know. Uh, I guess Jalen. No, Jalen would toast him. Or Austin, you'd have to probably put Austin on him or Vanderbilt on Jalen. They'd have that's for them to figure out, and I'm glad that I don't have to worry about who I'd have to guard there, because that's a tough task. But the Thunder, they got a lot more youth and a deeper bench and more people to throw around at guys, fresher legs, and they have length. Someone to put on Porzingis, so. I kind of like the Thunder, but at the same time, the Celtics have been there. I don't know, but I'm gonna go Thunder with this one because I picked the Celtics in the other bracket. And if they let me do a third bracket, I don't know who I'll pick. I don't know who I'll pick. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.